Yo, and we have another video, and this time it's about Kanye West. Wireless Festival is cancelled. You heard me, cancelled. This is the festival in the UK. I think it's in Finsbury Park. I've been in Finsbury Park a few times, and I've never been to Wireless. You know, this is before my time. Normally I go there for the fun fair back in the days when I was younger, but I've never been for the Wireless Festival. This is kind of new to me. The Wireless Festival has been cancelled after Kanye West was blocked from travelling to the UK to headline it. That in itself was weird, because as controversial as Kanye West is, or Ye is, why would you have him as the headline act, knowing at any moment he could say anything that could... Here's the thing about it, there's been a lot of embarrassment of late with acts saying things that they shouldn't do on stages, whether it be political or not. We had the BBC, they had their little moment where it was live. There's a couple of seconds delay, but they did not realize, or did not, how can I say, they could have. I mean, there's a lot of things that's happened. There's been Oscars with the N-word, there's Bob Dylan with their protest, and it's like three strikes, you're out. I don't think they want to be embarrassed by Kanye West, where at one point he apologized for his anti-Semitic rant, then he went back on it. Now he's apologizing again. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know what's going through his mind. But it's best we don't get embarrassed by him in the UK, no matter what meds he's on or off. Sorry to say, really. Yes, he deserves redemption. He deserves to be forgiven for some of the things he's been saying and doing, but a lot of people look at it as like, this guy has gone out of his way to manufacture t-shirts with swastikas on it, write and produce a whole song called Heil Hitler. If you was on some sort of problems with bipolar or all sorts, how are you be able to... I mean, I guess when you have money you can bypass a lot of things, but there's a lot of clearances and all sorts you have to go through to get things out there. But I go back on that, because he is a power on his own. He isn't really controlled by anyone, as you can see, because he was abandoned out there. So anybody can release a song, and you can just download it nowadays. So to say that he should have people around him to stop him from doing such stupid things, if he had an actual label, that song would have never come out. But he doesn't. All he needs is a distribution, or some way to distribute these songs, where it could be Spotify or anywhere else. It's really in them as well to stop him from releasing such trash songs like Heil Hitler. But it's freedom of speech as well. Who knows? I don't know how it works. I've never released a song, but I would think that there will be some sort of like boxes you have to tick before you can have a song being released, but I guess you don't. I don't know how it works. Anyway, cause has grown for West to be removed from the lineup after a string of anti-Semitic outbursts, including releasing a song called Heil Hitler and posing in a swastika t-shirt. The 48-year-old applied for electronic travel authorization yesterday, but he was denied entry to the UK. As a result, organisers have cancelled the entire event, saying refunds would be issued to all ticket holders. I think at this point, there was no point in them keeping the event going, even if he was allowed in the country. I just wondered how the event will still go ahead, for senses of like, let's put it in perspective now. All the major supporters and the backers and the advertisers, they're gone. PayPal went. They're gone. Pepsi went. So without the sponsors, how could the event go forward anyway? Nobody wanted to be associated with Kanye West performing at Wireless? Nobody. And the major sponsors, they're all backing out. They need the sponsors for a reason. They couldn't just have the event and just tickets can only cover so much. Without the major sponsors, man, you're burning through money. I would think so. I don't know. Kind of like when YouTube needs advertisers. They have money from Google, yeah, but they need advertisement money. Without advertisers, the whole site ceases to function. Because I remember when they first started on YouTube was burning through money because they couldn't sustain the upkeep of the site. So they allowed people to make money through the ad revenue. And there's advertising. Because there's advertising on there, but nothing beats good old fashioned, ad revenue that you can sell at a certain price. And this is the same thing with these festivals. They need sponsorships to keep everything going, to cover all the costs. Ticket sales alone can't do this because you can only raise a ticket to so much. So Nigel Farage spoke out earlier this afternoon against barring West, calling it a slippery slope. He said, "I know he said some dreadful things. If people thought he was genuinely going to come to Britain and urge attacks on the Jewish community, then there would be full grounds for stopping it. If it's just saying things we find objectifiable, that I think bans are slippery slope." It's a little more than that, man. What's this guy wearing? Kanye West, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you wearing? There is a lot going on behind the scenes, and for them to block you from coming in the country, they can't just block people like that. They evaluated him and thought, man, this guy's too much of a risk. Too much of a risk for us to let him in the country and perform. And that's where we are now. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'm out.